Hello, everybody. Thank you for returning to our YouTube channel. I am Brian. My co host, Matthew Creedican, the former Navy SEAL, cannot be here tonight. Unfortunately, where he's at in Ukraine, the power was cut and they're also under a missile attack. And apparently, he said there were explosions and just was not conducive to a good connection. We tried, but he kept losing connection with him. So he'll be back here tomorrow. Just tonight, unfortunately, and this might be a common occurrence because there's a lot going on where he's at. So we both belong to an organization called Technology United for Ukraine. We are a volunteer group of engineers, scientists, technicians, and anybody who's interested in becoming a part. I'm not a scientist or engineer, nor is Matthew, but we volunteered. I started the organization. So everybody's welcome to join and help out. If you go the link in the description, you can read about what we do as we bring innovative technologies to both the Ukrainian military and civilian population. So remember, link is in the description. I also will post this article I'm about to go over with you in the description. So without any further ado, let's get into this. I read a very interesting article written for the European Investment Bank, which is an interesting program, which they're putting out called the New Security and Defense Action Plan. And what this will do will permit banks to lend money to dual use companies. Dual use means you make products for military and civilian. And there may be crossover, can be used for civilian or military. And the big breakthrough is it's for small and medium enterprises. And what this does for Ukraine, not only just for the EU, but for Ukraine, is Ukraine is full of a lot of startups, a lot of small companies getting investment, venture capitalists, angel investors are all coming in to start these very innovative companies, which are making the technology Ukraine needs, which is low cost yet high technology. They're providing the fill in funds as these companies begin to ramp up production. They're going to be there to help provide them with the lending they need. Now, what is happening in Ukraine is they are now producing 90% of all of their drones that are, unique military drones, not like the ones we can just buy from China, of course. I mean, to that degree, that there is probably a level of focus on also ramping that up so they can be independent of China. But they're looking at putting all of this production into Ukraine. So this will be made in Ukraine. So when these funds come in, this production will be focused only in Ukraine, not outside, maybe with some European partners, but in no other parts of the world. And this is, of course, exciting for Fedorov, who's the Ukrainian Minister of Digital Transformation, because he wants to double production in Ukraine. This is his primary goal. And the European Investment Bank just launched the Defense Equity Facility, which will have ready on hand $175 million to invest in these startups, in particular in Ukraine or outside of it in the EU. So this is going to benefit both Ukraine and the European Union. Now, the U.S. is also working with Ukraine on this. They had a meeting with the Defense Innovation Unit, and they met with Brave One, which is run by Fedorov, and they talked about how will this look? How can this happen? So they're building a roadmap, and they're looking at where their assets are and their allies are in Europe, the U.S., and how can we begin to bring these funds together to make the type of weapon systems that make sense in this war? Because outside of this war, if it's the US, it will be high technology, extremely expensive, 12 million, $20 million weapons platforms. Ukraine Ukraine can't afford this. So they need the low cost, the $1,300 drone that's doing things that maybe a $2 million drone is doing. And this is a new way of thinking. And we have to get the right funds and the right mindset to build this type of industry, right? Because you have Lockheed Martins and Northrop Grumman, but they're not looking to make $1,300 weapons platforms. So these small and medium companies, which they're now focusing on, are going to be the key. They're going to be the companies that say, hey, we'll make that $2,000 drone or that $1,300 drone. And they'll be able to scale up the production with the help of the European Investment Bank. So, something interesting, I will put the link in the description so you can go and read this full article. I recommend it being a good read if you want to understand more about the manufacturing in this war and how that's evolving. Matthew, the Navy SEAL, is an expert at this. He's involved with different organizations and does some advising. So he's great. When he's back on, we'll have a discussion about this tomorrow. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for coming to the YouTube channel again. I appreciate all the support you guys give us. And remember, if you want to join us, the link is in the description. All right, Slava Ukraini.